it's not on private, but I wanted to answer a question real quick that I apologize I didn't get to yesterday. And there's a number of women I know in the situation where now they're older, like say my age ish, and they live their way, their life kind of as the one in control in their relationships and whatnot, and want to change it now and submit, to their man or a good man. And they're not sure how to make that happen, especially in a relationship where he already, you know, acquiesced to her taking the reins in the family. I asked my husband because I was curious as a man what he would say, and his answer was a little harsh. He said, "Well, if the man allowed that to happen, then he's already accepted it." And I was like, "Ooh, wow." But I do know stories of women that have won their husbands, through patience and also actually domestic discipline. And you have to have a lot of patience of introducing the idea to your husband. He may feel all kinds of way about it, and you have to be patient with him. So I did want to show you this. It's really great. Story clip. You can look up his whole story, but his name, you can look up Texas Dom. I think he even has a website, texasdom.com. I hope this is working. I don't know. We'll see. Let me see if I can set this up for you guys so you can see and hear a little better than I did yesterday. And then I'll come back again. Hold on a second here.
There is true love there. It's still there. There's love, and we love each other. I don't be with anybody but her. That's just the way I am wired. I don't believe that's one-eyed these days because I'm living a red pill life these days. So eventually, we got to this point.
How is this gonna
We
work?
got to the final drive. She was going to go to the airport to go out to fly to Alabama to visit the grandkids. They actually have three, which are awesome, by the way. Um, I'm thinking we're driving down this lonely road going through the north side to get to the airport. It's raining like hell. The ditches are filled with water, the whole 9 yards. And then we have that moment where she says, "Hey, I really want to mention something to you. I want to talk to you about something." And you know that feeling you got when your wife says, "I want to talk to you about something." And I knew it was coming. I'm thinking she's going to be gone for 10 days. We've got a separation in our future. We need to do this. She's going to be gone. This is going to be good. I can go get drunk every night or whatever I need to do to take care of me. And she said, "Hey, I've been studying about what makes me happy and who I am and all that." And she said, "I think I'm a submissive." I was like, "What?" I mean, she runs her own company. And that's also a fatal flaw if you work with your wife in the same company. I would go in there and kind of assist her with some bookkeeping and things like that. And eventually I became her employee, and that trans submissive. I'm like, yeah, I can maybe see that. Okay. She said, "I want you to think about something. I would like you to think about becoming my dominant, my dom." I about ended the truck right up about there. Okay? Like, are you serious? Okay. And my first reaction was, yeah, sure, I got this. Yeah, no problem. And inside of me, I'm going, holy crap. What am I going to do now? And so we got to the airport. I walked her up, and I got to the ticket counter, and the Continental or United lady behind the counter says, she goes, "Oh, you're walking her up here to make sure she gets on the plane so you can go have fun, right?" Just making a stupid blue pill joke. And I'm like, "No, I'm walking her up the plane because I want to make sure she's safe." And that sparked something in her when I said that. And I was real freaking serious about it. Freaking, by the way, not fucking. So I walk her over to the little Starbucks coffee shop there in the terminal. I couldn't go through security. We were there early because I'm obsessed about getting to the airport early, ass fits. So we're sitting there having coffee and talking, and we actually had the first passionate kiss we'd probably had in 2 years sitting in that airport. It was a fucking mind-blowing experience to me. I got her on the plane. I went home, and I spent 10 days researching this dominance and submissive lifestyle. I thought, okay, she wants to do something to try to save our marriage. She thinks this is who she is. Is that dominant who I am? And I've always been pretty alpha until I just, for some reason, decided to give up. And I just gave up, lack of sex, whatever. Jack talks about intimacy. Men need intimacy, at least I do. I wasn't getting it. I just wasn't, I want to be with the woman in bed. He was talking about this. I could have been my story, Jack. I mean, that was exactly where I was. I mean, I was a lot of empathy there, brother. But so I go to research this thing, and I'm seeing some crazy shit out there, right? So keep kind of moving a little bit, and I figure out what it is. It's a total power exchange. It's where she trusts me enough to give up all of her control, all of her power. And she says, okay, I want you to lead me. I want you to lead this family. I want you to protect me. I want you to do all these things. I want you to quit asking me to make decisions. I want to give up my power. And I take it. I willingly take it on, which is a hell of a commitment that you're going to make to somebody. So she's now free to figure out who the hell she is. Now she doesn't have to worry about paying the bills. She doesn't have to worry about the money coming in and doing this, that, and the other. I quit asking her stupid things like, where do you want to go eat? I mean, times we all done that, right? Where do you want to eat? I don't know. You sit there in the parking lot for 15 minutes trying to hash it out, and each of you trying to figure out which one the other one wants to do, and it just never works. So the other thing that came up on this was, is this just kinky sex? Because, you know, there's a lot of kinky sex going on in the BDSM world, and DS are two initials in BDSM. So there's a lot of ways we can take that. We'll talk about that a little bit because God knows we all like to talk about sex, right? So is it, let me ask you a question. What is the fastest selling paperback book of all times?
50 Shades of Grey.
Kidding, right? Why is that? Think about this. This is like kryptonite to feminists, okay? Because they're looking at this, oh, we're empowered and we're doing this, that, and the other. And yet thousands, if not millions, of women are reading this book and masturbating in their bed when their husbands are off doing something else,
Oh,
right?
God.
This is like, they're into this. And so I'm sitting here, rewind about a year prior to the final drive. I'm laying in bed. I'm thinking it's over. I'm thinking I got to start. This is bad. I started lifting weights. I started trying to figure out how to take care of myself. I said, okay, I'm going to start losing weight, and I ended up dropping, I don't know, over about the last 10 years, maybe 100 pounds, and started losing weight, exercising, doing. I mean, the shit tests were beginning. I mean, the shit tests were ramping up, man. Let me tell you. You know, why are you doing that? I was doing P90X. Y'all know P90X, Tony Horton? Fucking name, I love Tony, right?
I don't know how
Tony
much of that I
motivates the
can
hell
play.
out
I've
of
been
me.
going for a hot minute. Anyway, look him up, Texas Dom. Yes, hi everybody. Anywho, so the whole idea today, I was just answering a question about can older women or any woman, I suppose, that's been in the domineering, controlling, um, in charge position, can she switch? That's a really good question. Um, if you really had, a turn of heart and you see that your husband is king and all these kind of things, then, you can. It's going to take hard work, lots of study, get the Fascinating Womanhood book, work on all that stuff. Just be as agreeable as possible. It may take some time that your husband actually believes that you want to change and you're going to change. He's not just going to pick up the reins and be like, oh, okay, great, I got my power back, because technically, in a man's world, that's considered having your balls in a jar next to your wife's bedstand or something like that. So that's not so good. But anywho, so look him up. What a great story they have, and it's really funny because he's like, my wife's such a petite woman, and you'd think, oh, you're gonna hurt her. No, she's really tough. Like, he's like, women really like it rough. They do. Of course, consensual, yada yada yada. But anyway, love you guys, and hopefully that kind of gives you something to work with as far as answering that question. You're really gonna have to work hard for it, but you can do it, and especially if you're a God-fearing woman and you love the Lord, and that then you should put that type of energy towards your husband with grace and mercy that God has with you and me. So anyway, I've got to go. Lots of love. Talk to you guys later. All right, ciao.